Hi, in this video I am going to design a landing page in Figma. So at the top we have navigation and then our hero section. So if I click on the services section, as you can see, now we are in the services section. So if I click on the home link, it will go to the home section, I mean at the top section, and so on. If I click on the feature section, so it will go to the feature section, so which is awesome, and so on. So all these links are working perfectly. So as you can see, we are in the portfolio section, and so on. So yeah, that's it. Let me just show you how you can design this in Figma. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is to select a frame. Okay, I'm gonna create a grid for this. So this will be 12 column grid. Gutter space is going to be 32 and the margin is going to be 120, and I'm going to reduce the opacity to 5. I'm going to save this to my style. I'm going to call it grid. Okay, I'm going to turn off the grid for now, and I'm going to create another frame inside this. So this will be our navigation. Height is going to be 90. Okay, and the fill color is going to be white. Okay, and also I'm gonna add the shadow to the navigation. So I'm gonna click on the effect. Blur is going to be 24 and the opacity is going to be 8%, and from the Y it will be 8. Okay, I'm gonna add this shadow to my style. I'm gonna call it shadow. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on the grid for this navigation. I'm going to create the logo, so I'm going to call it creatives. The font for this is going to be this one. Font size is going to be 44 and the color is going to be 121212. This is going to be our dark color, so I'm going to save it to my style. It will be in the center. Okay, so I'm going to create these lengths. I'm going to say home. The font is going to be Sora and the weight is going to be semi-bold. The font size is going to be 14. Okay, and the color is going to be 70%. Okay, I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to rename it to services. I'm going to duplicate again. Features, portfolio pricing, team blog and contact, team blog and contact. I'm gonna select these links and hold Shift A and then press A. It will gonna make it auto layout. The space between these links is going to be 22. Okay, constraint is going to be the left. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this link, and again I'm gonna press hold Shift and then press A. I'm gonna make it auto layout. Okay, the content is going to be center vertically. I'm gonna call it button. Okay, stroke is going to be this blue color. Okay, I'm gonna save this color to my style. I'm gonna call it primary. Okay, it is going to be outside and the border weight is going to be 2. The fill color is going to be the blue and the text color is going to be white. I'm gonna save this white color to my style, also. Okay, so let me just increase the padding top and bottom is going to be 14 and left and right is going to be 24. Okay, awesome. So now let me create the hero section. I'm gonna call it navigation bar. Select a frame. I'm gonna drag it like this. I'm going to select an image for this frame. I'm gonna add this text. Color is going to be white. Font size is going to be 72. Okay, font weight is going to be semi-bold. Okay, I'm gonna save this to my style. I'm gonna call it display text. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate. Font size is going to be 22. Okay, bold. And I'm gonna save this text to my style. This is going to be our heading 3. Okay, so now I'm gonna duplicate this button. By Control D, I'm gonna drag it to the bottom. Okay, this will say get started and portfolio. I'm gonna duplicate fill color. I'm gonna remove the fill color and the border color is going to be white. Okay, say I'm gonna select this button, Shift A, okay, auto layout, and it will be in the center. I'm gonna select the text and the button. Okay, the space between these is going to be 32. Okay, I'm gonna select these text. I'm gonna make it a group and it will be in the center. So yep, that's it. This will be our hero section. I'm gonna lock it. I'm gonna increase the height for the frame. I'm going to select text. Okay, font color is going to be primary color. Say add services. Font size is going to be 44. I'm gonna save it to my style. This is going to be our heading 1. Okay, and the color is going to be the dark color. And I'm gonna copy this color from the finished project. So I'm gonna paste that text right here. Okay, so the line height for the text is going to be 160 and the size is going to be 16 and the color is going to be this gray kind of color. And I'm gonna save it to my style. I'm gonna call it body. Okay, I'm gonna also add this color to my style. This is going to be our body. Okay, I'm gonna select these text. make it auto layout. Content is going to be center and the width is going to be fixed. Okay, the space is going to be 12 and make it to the center. Okay, so I'm going to increase the height a bit. I'm rename it this to intro. Okay, so I'm gonna decrease the size for this. I'm gonna decrease the size to 14. Yeah, 14 is looking good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create these services boxes. So for that I'm gonna select a frame. Okay, I'm gonna drag it like this. It will gonna cover 4 column space, and then I'm going to hold control and then press P. I'm gonna search for box icons. So I have installed these box icon plugin, so you can go to the Figma community and install this plugin. So I'm gonna select an icon. Okay, I'm gonna drag this icon inside this frame. Fill color for the frame is going to be white, and I'm gonna apply the shadow. I'm gonna turn off the grid. Okay, the font size is going to be 32. Okay, and the color is going to be white. So before I apply the white color, let me just make it auto layout by Shift A. The width and height is going to be fixed, 54 by 54. It will be in the center. Okay, border radius is going to be 100, and the fill color is going to be the primary color, and the text color is going to be white. Okay, I'm gonna add some text. I'm gonna select the heading 3. Color is going to be the dark, and I'm gonna copy this this color from the finished project. I'm gonna paste it inside this frame. I'm gonna select the heading text and the paragraph, make it auto layout. The space is going to be 12. Okay, I'm gonna end the space. So before that, let me just make it auto layout the frame. Okay, the weight is going to be fixed 379. Okay, and this is going to be fill container. This is also going to be fill container. Okay, rename it to service. Okay, the padding is going to be 25. Yep, that's it. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to duplicate the service box and change the icon for the rest of other boxes. So I duplicated all the services boxes, so I'm gonna add some icon. So I changed the icon for all of the rest of the other boxes, so I'm gonna select all of these boxes. Padding top, sorry, the space is going to be 32 left and right, and also I'm gonna increase the space between the icon and this text. So it is now 21. I'm gonna increase it to 24. Okay, and I'm gonna select these boxes once again and adjust the space between these boxes. I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna make it a group. I'm gonna call it services. Space between the title and this is going to be 70. I'm gonna make it an auto layout. Okay, shift A. I'm gonna call it services. It will be in the center, and the width is going to be fixed 1440. Padding top is going to be 120, and also going to be 120 from the bottom and 0 to the left and right. Okay, I'm gonna drag it to the top. So now our service section is ready. So I'm not gonna change the title for this like the other services, so it will gonna take some time. So if you want to do so, you can change it. Okay, so after that we have this section, this feature kind of section. So I'm gonna create that. I'm going to increase the height. I'm going to select a frame. I'm gonna drag it like this. Okay, I'm gonna increase the height for now. Inside this frame, I'm gonna select a rectangle like this. The width is going to be 720. I'm gonna select the image. Yep, this one. Okay, I'm going to duplicate the intro. I'm going to drag the intro to this section. Okay, I'm going to turn on the grid for this frame. Select the intro. Content is going to be the left side and the text is also going to be the left side. Okay, so there will be one column gap. I'm going to reduce it like this. Text is going to be fill container. Okay, so I'm gonna reduce some text just like this. So I'm going to duplicate the icon. I'm gonna Control D, gonna drag this icon to this section. I'm gonna define some feature for this. The font color is going to be the dark, and the text is going to be H3. So I'm gonna copy this these text from the finished project. I'm gonna paste the text right here. Oops, I pasted here, so I'm gonna drag the text to here in this frame. Okay, I'm gonna select that text and the space is going to be 12. I'm gonna drag it to the left side. Space is going to be 24. Okay, I'm gonna make it a group to this. I'm gonna duplicate this group. So I'm gonna change the icon for these services. So I'm gonna go to the box plugins. I'm gonna search for some icons. So I'm gonna delete the first one, and I'm going to change the width to 32. The color is going to be white. Again, I'm gonna select this icon. I'm gonna drag it inside this icon box. It will be in this, and I'm gonna delete the other one, the first one, and the color is going to be white. The weight is going to be 32. Okay, so now I'm going to select these groups. The space is going to be 24, 28. Okay, I'm gonna make it a group. Select this intro. I'm gonna make it a group also. Okay, it will be in this center. So now we have also I'm going to change the text, say y2. So I created an auto layout for this for that group. Okay, I'm gonna make it to the center. It's going to be our feature section. This image is going to be inside this feature, so I drag it inside this features frame. So we have our section is ready. Okay, and now I'm going to design the portfolio section. I'm gonna increase the height for the frame, and I'm gonna select the intro text. I'm gonna duplicate. I'm going to drag it to here. Rename this text to portfolio. Also, I'm going to rename this to okay. So I'm gonna drag a rectangle like this, and I'm going to, the height is going to be 260. Okay, I'm gonna select an image for this. I'm going to select this one. Okay, and then I'm gonna select a frame. I'm gonna drag it like this. Okay, fill color is going to be white, and also I'm gonna apply the shadow. Okay, I'm gonna say color is going to be the primary color, and the text is going to be body. I'm going to duplicate this one. The text color is going to be dark, and the size is going to be H3. Okay, I'm gonna make it auto layout. The width is going to be fixed. Okay, and the space between the text is going to be 8. Okay, so now I'm gonna duplicate. I'm gonna call it project. I'm gonna duplicate this one, select these two. I'm gonna make it a group. Okay, I'm gonna call it project. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate by Control D. So I'm going to change the image for these projects. So the space is going to be 32 and 32. I'm gonna make it a group, and I'm gonna select the intro and these projects. I'm gonna make it auto layout by Shift A. Content is going to be center. Padding top and bottom is going to be 120, and left and right is going to be 0. The width is going to be fixed. Okay, I'm gonna drag it like this. I'm gonna move it to the top. Okay, I'm gonna call this section to portfolio. Okay, and the space between the text and these boxes is going to be 70. Okay, so now I'm gonna create our pricing section. So for that I'm gonna increase the height for this frame. Again, I'm gonna duplicate this section, the intro section. Control D. I'm gonna drag it to the bottom. It's like this, and I'm gonna say pricing. Okay, so I'm going to select a frame. It will cover 3 column space. Fill color is going to be white, and I'm going to apply the box shadow. I'm going to turn off the grid. Increase the height a bit, and select a text. Font size is going to be 14 and bold. Okay, color is going to be the body color, and I'm gonna add the price for this package. So I'm gonna say $99. The color is going to be dark, and the size is going to be H1. Okay, I'm gonna select these two. I'm gonna make it auto layout. Content is going to be center, and the space is going to be 8. Okay, so I'm gonna select this line. I'm gonna drag it like this. Okay, I'm gonna select this one, and the opacity, reduce the opacity to 10. Okay, and then I'm going to make it to the center. I'm going to add the icon and these text. search for box icon, and I'm gonna say check. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm going to drag it to in this frame, okay, and change the color to the primary, okay. So I'm going to copy these text from the finished project. I'm gonna paste it inside this frame. Select these two, make it auto layout. Content is going to be center, and the space is going to be at, okay. I'm gonna duplicate this, again duplicate, and again and again. I'm gonna select these and make it auto layout. Space is going to be at, okay, and I'm gonna change the text. So I change the text for the rest of the other. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to select this frame, okay. I'm gonna make it auto layout, okay. The content is going to be the center, padding is going to be 25, okay. The weight is going to be fixed, which is going to be 276, okay. And this is going to be fill container, okay. Also I'm gonna select these lengths, sorry, these text, and it is going to be fill container. This is also going to be fill container, okay. So now I'm gonna add the button to the bottom. So for that I'm going to duplicate the button. And select this button. And select this button, duplicate, and I'm going to drag it inside this frame, okay. So our pricing is ready. So I'm gonna change it to pricing table. I'm gonna duplicate this. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to select these pricing tables, and the space between these is going to be 32. I'm gonna make it a group. Space between these is going to be 70. I'm gonna make it auto layout. The weight is going to be 1440. Content is going to be in the center, and padding top is going to be 120, and left and right is going to be 0, okay. So I'm gonna increase the height for the frame, and the color is going to be this light color, this one. I'm gonna save it to my style. I'm gonna call it light, okay. So now I'm going to create the team section. Again, I'm gonna duplicate the intro section. I'm gonna drag it to the bottom. I'm gonna change it to okay. So I'm going to select a circle. I'm gonna drag it like this. Okay, the weight and height is going to be 175. Oops, 175, sorry, 175. And I'm gonna select an image for this and select this one. Okay, and I'm going to name, color is going to be dark, it's going to be body color, and the font size is going to be the body. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna search for content reel. So this is a plugin you can install. It will gonna produce some text, and let's say I want to generate a name. So I'm gonna select this one, and I'm gonna search for it. So you can click on the job title, so it will gonna, so as you can see, so now I'm going to add the social link to this person. Again, search for box icons, search for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and yep, that's it. Going to select these icons. I'm gonna drag inside this frame. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to drag this icon here. I'm gonna shift A. Okay, the width and height is going to be fixed, so this is going to be 32 by 32. Content is going to be center, border radius is going to be 100. Fill color is going to be the primary color, and the text is going to be white. I'm gonna drag it like this. So I'm gonna duplicate. Oops, I'm gonna duplicate, and I'm gonna drag this icon inside this box. I'm gonna delete this Twitter. Then I'm gonna duplicate. I'm gonna drag this to inside this frame. Okay, I'm gonna select this one. I'm gonna delete. The color for this is going to be white. So I'm gonna delete the frame. So now I'm going to select these icons, make it auto layout. The space is going to be 12. Okay, it will be in the center. So now I'm going to select these two text, make it auto layout. Space is going to be 4. Okay, so now I'm gonna select the icon as well, make it auto layout, make it to the center. The space is going to be 14. So now I'm gonna select the image and these text. I'm gonna make it auto layout. The width is going to be fixed. It's going to be 276, which will gonna cover the 3 column space, so it will be in the center. Okay, and the padding is going to be 25. Fill color is going to be white, and I'm gonna apply the effect shadow. Not this one, I'm gonna apply this one. Okay, so we have our team member is ready. I'm gonna rename it to team member. I'm gonna duplicate, and the space between the image and the text is going to be like 30. I'm gonna duplicate this once again. I'm gonna duplicate it one. I'm gonna change the image, so I'm gonna select this image, select this, okay. So I'm gonna change the name for this one for the other person, so I'm gonna search for content reel. I'm going to select the name and change the name, and also I'm going to change the job title. Where is that? So in the text, I'm going to search for job title. So where is that? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna select these team members. Justify the space between these is going to be select a frame, and the space is going to be 32. Okay, so now I'm going to select the intro and this team member, make it auto layout. Content is going to be center, padding top and bottom is going to be 120, and left and right is going to be 0. Space is going to be 70. Okay, weight is going to be 40. I'm gonna drag it to the top. So our team section is ready. So now let me create the block. So I'm going to duplicate the intro text by Ctrl D, and I'm gonna drag it to the bottom. I'm gonna rename this text to okay. So after that, I'm going to design this section. I'm going to select a rectangle and drag it like this. The width is going to be 379 and the height is going to be 250. Okay, so I'm gonna select another frame inside this. I'm gonna drag it like this, 80 by 80. Fill color is going to be primary color, say 25. I'm going to duplicate this text. Okay, I'm gonna reduce the size to 12. Okay, I'm gonna make it auto layout. Width and height is going to be fixed. It's going to be 80 by 80. Okay, content is going to be center. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to select these two and make it a frame. Okay, so I'm gonna call it image. So I'm going to remove that frame, remove that rectangle. I'm gonna change the fill to the image. It's going to be our block image. Okay, this will be our title. Okay, and I'm gonna duplicate some text. I'm going to drag it to the bottom. I'm gonna reduce some text. Okay, the weight is going to be 379. This will be our link, and the color is going to be the primary color. Okay, font size for the title is going to be this one. It will be to the left. So now I'm going to select the link title and make it auto layout. Okay, width is going to be fixed, and the text and title is going to be fill container. Okay, padding is going to be 25. Okay, and fill color is going to be white, and apply the shadow. Okay, so I'm gonna search for content reel. I'm gonna select the title. I'm going to search for the article. Make it a group. I'm gonna call it blog post. I'm gonna duplicate this one. Select the text. Again, I'm going to duplicate the block and drag it like this. Okay, I'm gonna select the title. Okay, I'm gonna select the image and change it to this one. So now our blog is ready. Space is going to be 32. I'm gonna make it a group. Okay, select the title. Space is going to be 70. Content is going to be center. Padding top is going to be 120, and also 120 from the bottom. The width is going to be fixed, and the fill color is going to be the light. It will be in the center. Okay, So now I'm going to design the contactor section. I'm going to duplicate the intro title. I'm going to select a frame and drag it like this. Okay, so height is going to be 46. Height is going to be 46. Okay, and the fill color is going to be it's going to be 7. Reduce the opacity to 7. Okay, say full name, email, it's going to be the body. Okay, the font size is going to be the body. Okay, from the left side it's going to be 18. Look, I'm gonna duplicate this frame, rename it to input, and duplicate this one. Say email. I'm gonna duplicate this one. Subject, and duplicate this one. Say 16. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, select these two, make it a group, and select this one and this one. Space is going to be 16. Okay, I select these and reduce the opacity to like 3%. I'm gonna duplicate the button, duplicate, and I'm going to drag this button to this section. Okay, here is the button. The text is going to be in the center. Okay, so our contact us section is ready, so I'm gonna select this button, and make it a group. It will be in the center. I'm gonna increase the width to 850. Select these two, make it auto layout. Space is going to be 70 and the width is going to be 1440. Content is going to be in the center. Padding top is going to be 120 and also padding bottom is going to be 120. Okay. So now I'm gonna design this footer. It's going to be contact. I'm gonna drag a frame. Okay, fill color is going to be dark. I'm gonna turn on the grid. I'm gonna duplicate the logo. I'm gonna drag this logo inside this frame. The color is going to be white. Okay, so I'm gonna create these lengths. Okay, oops, I'm gonna select the text, say home. It's going to be the body. Color is going to be this. I'm gonna duplicate. So I'm going to select these lengths. Make it auto layout. Space is going to be 8. Select this one and make it auto layout. Space is going to be 22. Okay, and it will cover 2 column space. Oops, it will cover 2 column space. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this once more. So I'm not gonna change these lengths, so I will leave it as it is. So I'm gonna contact us. I'm gonna duplicate this. Say contact us. Select this text and I'm gonna search for content reel. So we have the address first. Address and then website name. Company. I'm gonna search for the email. Yep, this one. Email and then phone number. I'm gonna delete the last one. So this will cover 3 column space. It's going to be fill container. This is going to be fill container. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select these and this. I'm gonna make it a group. Okay, I'm gonna make it a group. Okay, so our footer top is ready. So now I'm gonna select this footer top, make it auto layout. Width is going to be fixed, it's going to be 1440, and padding top is going to be 60, padding bottom is going to be 60 as well. So I'm gonna turn off the grid. Okay, so I'm gonna design this footer bottom, select a frame, I'm gonna drag it like, oops, and lock it, and drag a frame like this. Width is going to be 1440, and the fill color is going to be this dark color. I'm gonna copy this text, I'm gonna paste it right here and turn on the grid. Okay, so I'm gonna copy these social icons, I'm gonna duplicate, and I'm gonna drag it to this frame, I'm gonna drag it here, it will be in the center. Okay, so I'm gonna change fill color to completely white. Oops, white, and reduce the opacity to like this 12. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the grid, I'm gonna call it footer bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna select footer top and bottom and make it a frame. It's going to be footer. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the grid from the footer bottom. So I'm gonna make it auto layout. Okay, so I am going to increase padding top. Oops, increase the padding to like 80, also 80 to the bottom. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to justify the space between this section. So I'm going to select the hero section to the footer, and I'm going to click on tidy up. So I'm gonna, the space should be 0 between these section. Okay, so that's it. So let me just preview this and let's see how it is looking. So the design is looking good. so as you can see, which is looking very nice. So what I'm gonna do next is to do the prototyping for these links. So for that, what I'm gonna do, I think there is a little bit, no, it's okay. So what I'm gonna do first, for the prototyping, I'm going to select this service. It will go to the service section. It will go to the service section, and I'm gonna give some negative space of say 80. Okay, it will go to animate. (1000 millisecond), and in the effect will be ease in out. Okay, so let's see how it is working. Okay, nice. So we have to fix the navigation. So go to the design, select the navigation bar, and click on the fixed when it's scrolling. Okay, so let me just check it again. Nice. So when I click on the home, it will go to, oops, it will go to this. Okay, so let's see. Nice. So I'm gonna do this prototyping for the rest of the other links. When I click okay on the features, I'm gonna give it some negative space to the navigation, and it will go to the feature section. Okay, yes. So yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna do this portfolio. Scroll to portfolio, negative space of 80. It will go to pricing. Yeah, it will go to the pricing. Okay, I'm gonna give it a negative space of 80, 1000 millisecond. It will go to the team section. It will go to the block. It will go to the block section. Contact us will go to contact. Okay, so let's see. When I click on the services, it will go to the service section. If I click on the features, it goes to the features. Okay, and if I click on the portfolio, it goes to the portfolio page, I mean portfolio section, which is looking great. And if I click on the pricing, it goes to the pricing table, team, block, and contact. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, that's it. So see you in the next video.